Hello everyone, FunshineX here, bringing you a mod spotlight on a mod called Raycraft. This mod was built by a developer named Tommy1019. It is hosted on the Curse Forge section for Forge mods. It's also on the Minecraft forums. I'll have links to both in the description below. Tommy's been a long-time subscriber of mine, and he's one of my top donators. So he asked if I'd take a look at his mod, and I did, and I think it looks awesome. It's still kind of in its infancy. It's very new, but it's already got a lot of functionality that's pretty unique to a mod. It's not just another copy of or rehash of some of the other mods. So we're gonna go into it, show you everything that there is to know about Raycraft. Let's get going. Okay guys, so the first thing you always want to know with a new mod is what kind of things spawn in the world. And there's only one item for this mod that spawns, and that's called this energetic ore. It's going to be down in caves, pretty low, and not too rare, but not too abundant, not like iron where you're going to find it everywhere. So you're going to get a bunch of this ore, and what's interesting about this is if you take a pickaxe to it, let me get out of game mode. Here we go. It's almost like it's silk touches, right? You're gonna get the ore, not like an item. So that's kind of cool. So you get this ore, and there's really no use for this ore other than what we'll do later. But just look at these models; these are excellent. This is what we're gonna get to see in just a bit. Look at all the stuff. I also like to show in my spotlights how difficult it is to use the mod, and here's kind of the vanilla items that you're gonna need. So a lot of stone, some obsidian. So it's actually need a lot of obsidian. So you're not going to be really using this mod until you've got a few diamonds. You need a lot of iron, some glowstone, so you need to visit the Nether before you can really get into this mod, and some TNT, so you're going to be killing a lot of creepers. Later on in the mod, you're going to need some diamond tools, a lot more redstone and iron, some sugar, sticky pistons. So really, it's not a high tier mod, but it's not a beginning, starting out mod either. So it's kind of in the middle once you have some diamonds and have been to the Nether. Okay, so first let's look at this. How do we get the energy out of this mod? And I've built this little obsidian cave here, and it's not necessary, but you're going to be using TNT. And if you just lay this stuff on the ground and blow it up with some TNT, that might not work the best. You're going to damage your surroundings. Oh, speaking of blowing up my area, again I mentioned we're going to be blowing this stuff up with TNT. So I'm going to put a couple, load this little cave up. Let's get some TNT, and let's get a button. You could use a lever, redstone, whatever you want. Okay, so if we blow this stuff up, you're going to watch it, and out is going to come all these little orbs. And I think each block of this ore sends out about 4 or 5 orbs. It's kind of random, but they go floating out into the sky. Okay, what's the point of that? Well, we're going to need to get one of these little nets, or it's called an energy, where'd it go? Power holder, and that's how we're going to catch these little orbs. So let's do that again. Get rid of this table so I get my button back. Nope, button is now gone. Come on. Search button. There we go. Okay, so let's do that again. I'm going to use 3. You can load, make this a lot bigger. You don't even need this obsidian. You could just lay this all on the ground and blow it up with TNT. That's up to you. Find out what works best. But I'd go with 3. It's very difficult to catch this stuff, and that's one comment I would make to Tommy is maybe can you slow these orbs down a little bit? Because I'm blowing up 3 ores and I maybe catch 2 maximum out of all of them. And that's pretty expensive for mining this ore and putting a TNT block on there. And I guess it's possible if you put more ore in here, you would have a better chance, so, blow up 7 ore with 1 TNT, maybe that gives you a better chance of catching more. But without fly, it's very difficult to get these. You just kind of spam click all over the place, and sometimes it doesn't even work when you click on them. So that would be my comment, is maybe slow those down just a little bit so you can get more per explosion. Okay, so now we've got a few of these things in a net, or a cage, or whatever you want to call it, the power holder, and we need to actually use them. So that's where your first machine is going to come in, and that's called the Infuser. The recipe is here. You need 4 obsidian, 4 iron bars, and a glowstone. Okay? And what we're going to do with the Infuser is bring it on down here. Let me get rid of that machine and take that off of it. Let's just delete. Yeah. So you're going to build that Infuser, and you're going to plop it down. You don't have to build this little structure, but just plop it down anywhere. It needs 2 blocks because it has this little antenna focuser weird thing on the top. And yeah, so you're going to put that there. Next, you're going to click on it with your energy power holder, and that's going to go down on the bottom there. So you're going to also want to block below it open to the air. And then you're going to put a button on it or put a lever next to it, do whatever you want. I had to shift click to put the button there because if you right click on it, you get your cube back, power holder back. Okay, so now what's the point of this? Well, we're going to take this stone here that's up on top, and it's going to work on a 3x3 square of stone, and it just needs to be at least 1 block higher, so I could do it right here if I wanted. But I'm going to just leave it open and watch what happens when we push this button. I'm going to go down a little bit so you can look up. See it send those little orbs out? And some of them, randomly, will hit the stone and turn it into this block called the power shield. And you could just mine it with a pickaxe. I'm just going to destroy it. And then just replace the stone. And you're probably going to want to do that every time you push the button because all 9 of those blocks have a random chance of changing. So if you turn some to a power shield, then you've got a less of a chance, right? And I've run out of power here. So I'm going to get this one, which is from creative mode, which you can't really get in game. Well, you can, but I'll talk about that in a minute. Put that there, so now I've got 100. Each time I press this button, it uses 2 of those little balls. Look at that model, that is awesome. A bunch of little balls in there. So 2 of those balls are going to fly up. Looks like we got 3 power shielding that time. Cool. So you would just mine it and replace the stone. And keep doing that, okay? Pretty cool. And you could, I mean, if you wanted to, you could just spam this button and till all 9 of them were hit, but that's going to be a little bit of a waste. All right, so that's power shielding. What do we do with the power shielding? Well, that is now a recipe in most of the other blocks. So we have this grinder, which uses the power shield, iron bars, and a diamond pickaxe. The focuser, which uses 5 power shields and a diamond. And this power cube, which has 8 power shields and an iron bar. We're going to show you what all those do in just a second. But there's another purpose to this power shielding, which I haven't seen in any of the Spotlight videos that that Tommy already has. If I put this stuff, and it's expensive, right? Because it took basically 2 power every time to get, maybe 2 or 3 of these power shields. But I'm going to arrange it like so. And you could find a better arrangement that maybe works better. But this is what worked for me. Now let's go put this stuff in here. Put the TNT down. I've lost my button again. Those dang buttons. Okay, try this one more time. I'm going to explode this. And watch what happens to the little power orbs. The ones that hit the wall, they stop. So now, it's much easier to take one of these guys and just go bloop. And they're a little bit, here's another kind of bug. Sometimes you see they go up and down. If you watch my little guy down here, he kind of went up and down. There's a little bit of a syncing issue, I believe, from what I know of mod development between the client and the server. So let's do another one. We're gonna be a little faster this time. So if you watch, it's now at 7, it's got 8, 9, backing up and down. Kind of, if you spam click, it doesn't. So here I've got to 10, and that's actually the maximum you can get in one of these power holders by default. So you might want to have a couple power holders when you do this, so that if you get to 10, you can switch to a second one and get it. But that's the purpose of the power shielding, which I haven't seen anyone show off yet. It makes it a lot easier to get the orbs, and maybe that's the point of them flying so wild before, is to kind of force you to build this power shielding so that you can actually get the maximum return for a power ore, or an energetic ore. Okay, let's move on to these items. The grinder is really cool. For that, we're going to go down into a mine shaft. So let's say you're down here, you've been strip mining. Is there a better way? Well, let's do this. I'm going to come right to the end here and just kind of clear out a little bit of space. Okay, now let's put this grinder right here. And you can see it's got the same kind of little antenna that the other one had. And it's pointing up, which is good. And let's put the power holder right there. Let's put a button on it and click. Awesome. It's mining for us. And this thing will go all the way to the sky. Or it will stop if it hits dirt, grass, cobble, or gravel. And there might be a few other blocks. But it'll go through obsidian, it'll go through lava, it'll go through water, it'll go through... I'm not sure on wood, but mainly it'll go through most of the stuff that's down here until it hits dirt, and that's kind of to stop it from going to the sky. I figure eventually it'll hit dirt. But let's see what this thing pulled up. 21 cobble, a coal. Looks like that was about it. That wasn't a very good line, but basically it'll go straight up, and now you can just move it ahead and do the same thing. We'll put the button on it and get our power on there. And this is going to use, I believe, 4. Let's check it. Take it out and let's grab this thing. And where did it go? It's gone. I think that was because, I don't know. Probably because I think it's something with inventory tweaks. No, I'm losing it. Huh. Well, that's interesting. Anyway, so let's say, this thing encountered some nice ore, like some gold or some iron, some coal, maybe some diamond. So let's just go ahead and manually fill this little tunnel here. And you can see here we hit some dirt, so that's where it stopped. Alright, so that you're never going to find a shaft like that, but if you did, and we get a new battery. I think that's just because I'm a creative. Let's see. Alright, so, oops, can't be there. That one can't be there, or it won't work. Alright, try it again. There it goes, look at it go. So I'm getting these things called iron chunks and gold chunks. Those just go to furnace. Make bars. Pretty cool. You can see we got the coal, we got our diamonds. It doesn't apply fortune or anything like that, so you're just going to get the normal return. But let's see. Yeah, okay, so Tommy, that might be a bug on the grinder, is I'm not getting my power cube back for some reason. I don't know why. But that was a couple times I reproduced. Can I deal with this one? Let's see. Yep, it just eats it. Nope. There it went. There it went. Where are you going? So it's possible it's... when you do it, it's putting it down on the ground somewhere, and because I don't have enough space, maybe that's why it's eating it. Try that again. There it goes. Yeah, so it looks like it's coming out the left side, and if there's a block there, you lose your thing. So I'll log that as a bug, but also for you guys who are using this mod, just to know, just clear around it, then you don't have to worry about losing it until Tommy fixes that. Okay, so that's the grinder. Let's go back up. A good way to mine, it's a kind of a unique way to mine, using the ores that you find to mine more ores. Okay, now that we're back up here, let's talk about the next machine, which is the... well, let's move on to the power cube first. Power cube, you're just going to put down anywhere in the world. This one doesn't take redstone or anything, but all it does is it will accept the power if you shift right click, 5 at a time. So that took all 5 there. Okay, cool. So if I had 10 in here, the maximum would just take 5, so take 2 clicks. That's important for later. But that's really cool, this little model. This creative one, you can actually do 10 at a time. Fill this thing up. It's now got 100 in there. Cool, so that's how you store it, and you can also get it back out when you need it. Cool. That's the power holder. or power cube, sorry. We're using the power holder. And now we've got the focuser. What we're going to do with the focuser is we're going to come over here where we've already been doing the infuse, or making this power shielding. And we're going to put a focuser right on top of that little guy. Right like that. Okay? And that's perfect. You don't need this power shielding here. It can be stone. I might as well just turn it back to stone here. It can be anything. It doesn't even have to be here. I just do it because it's convenient, and you'll see in a second. Now, what this guy does is he's an infuser. He's got kind of like his own crafting recipe, and he'll take all these little orbs that get sent up, and he'll capture them and use their power, harness their power. So what you're going to do, you're going to stick, there's a few recipes in here. The first one we're going to do is redstone, dust, and a diamond pickaxe. And all we're going to do is just throw them down in this pit. They just need to be on top of the focuser. And then we're going to click the button. And it's random, so it takes a few tries. Remember, this is taking 2 power orbs every time. There it goes. Once you hear that button, you know it worked. So you can go back up on top. Whoa, what is this little thing? This is called the phaser. And we can see the model here. It is a really cool staff-like thing. And he's talked about putting a different texture on it. It's kind of cool. I think the little donut around the top and the shaft should have a different texture, but I like the kind of the clearness of the, I don't know, the diamond at the top. I don't know. I guess that's the diamonds from the diamond pick. So maybe have make the shaft out of wood, make that little thing diamond colored, and then maybe the donut red, so it's using the diamond pick and the redstone. That's my suggestion. Anyway, what does this thing do? Well, it only has 2 uses to begin with, which is pretty crappy, but one of the uses is to mine. If you right click, it'll mine 2 blocks. Sometimes it mines 3, depends. And then the other thing is you can do 2 damage to mobs. And it's an area of effect, so if you had a bunch of mobs, like in a mob farm or something all standing there, you could kill them all if they all had like 2 hit points. Okay, and it's actually 2 hearts, so it's 4 hit points if you're using damage indicators or something like that. Okay, so how do we charge this thing back up? Well, you can just right click on this guy and he'll charge it back up. Cool. Just suck them down. Okay, well that's cool, but that's not really powerful. I want to make it more powerful. So I'm going to throw it back in, and this time I'm going to add a block of redstone, I think. Let me make sure. A block of iron. Oops. And some sugar. And we'll just throw them in that little hole as well. And start doing the infusion process. Oh, it only took 2 clicks. And it doesn't look like it did anything. You can't really tell. I would maybe add something in the hover over, Tommy, so you know that you've upgraded it once. Maybe have a little speed 2x. But that made it increased its speed. Before it only did 2 blocks, but watch it now. It should do up to 6 blocks, I think. So maybe it went from 3 to 6 or something like that. But that's really cool. And what this, I didn't show you before, but watch. It does Obsidian. It has no problem with any block. It actually can mine bedrock at one point. I don't know if he's fixed that issue or not, but yeah. So it's a very powerful Obsidian miner, and anything else that's tough to destroy. Just be careful when you're using it around your house. You don't actually shoot down your walls to your house. Right? Okay. So we know how to charge it. We know how to upgrade it. There's a few more ways to upgrade it. Tommy bug report again is the speed recipe does not. I mean the damage recipe does not work. It lists it as a piece of redstone and a diamond sword. So I just reproduced that really quick. So put that in there. Piece of redstone and a diamond sword. And I clicked on this thing a lot of times. Nothing happened. So that recipe's bugged. Hopefully he gets it fixed. Or it's either wrong in the forums or it's a bug in the mod. Okay, what else can we upgrade in here? Well, Remember how I said this power holder can only hold 10 by default? Let's get the non-creative one, or the non-100 one. The reason this one can hold 100 is it's been upgraded. So we put that cube in there, and then we put block of iron, and we give a chest. Okay. And then we go ahead and infuse it. Well, that was easy. That one only took one. And again, you can't tell, nothing's different about it, but this guy can hold a lot more now. Let's see how many he can hold. 30. So we went from 10 to 30, and let's see if we can upgrade him again. Should have gotten 2 of these, but oh well. No ender chest, please. Alright, let's try it again. Cool. How many can you hold now? Maybe 75? 50. Okay, so it's increasing it by 20 every time you upgrade. Pretty cool. So you can probably get up to, I'm guessing the max is 100. I don't know. Maybe you can go beyond 100. But that's really cool to upgrade your little holders. This phaser initially will also only go to, I think 100, or is it? I don't know. I can't remember. Whoops. Try that again. I can't remember. You can also upgrade how much this phaser can hold. And the last upgrade you can do is transfer rate. So if you put one of these guys in here, and let's do a sticky piston. That's where the sticky piston came in. A diamond. And a block of redstone. So not cheap. Okay. Infused it up. Grab it again. And now, if we shift click on this, remember before it put 5 at a time? Now it puts 8 at a time. So you can get 8 out at a time. That makes it a lot easier to transfer. Okay, so we upgrade those power holders. And again, it'd be nice to have something on the tooltip that said that it had been upgraded. Okay, so that's pretty much everything. Oh, wait, there's one more item. Almost forgot. We need to make a bomb. Let's make a bomb. The bomb recipe is a block of redstone and some TNT. So it's really easy to make this. I mean, I always have TNT and redstone left over, don't you guys? Right? Throw it in there, click. Super easy, and you get 3 bombs for that. 1 TNT, right? You got 3 bombs. Now let's come over here. Let's invite these sheep to enjoy our bomb. Here you go. You're gonna throw it down. It's gonna stick to the ground there, and it's gonna start flashing. Oh no, sorry, I hit the wrong button. Right click, don't hit T. So right click, there it goes. And it's gonna start shaking. It's gonna get red, and boom! It doesn't do damage. Wait a minute. That's pretty cool. I knew that. Sorry, I'm acting. Game mode, survival. Put it down. Watch this. I can stand right next to it. So other than fall damage, which could be a problem, it does not do damage to player or entities, but it mines like crazy. Watch this hole it generates. Boom, boom. And it drops all the entities on the ground. That's pretty cool. So one thing I wanted to check was, let's go back to creative. Now, this is a little bit playing around. But you know how before we had to use TNT, 1 TNT to get a couple pieces of this power ore blown up? What if we have a bomb and some of these power ores? Actually, let's just put them out in the world. If this doesn't work, I would request that it does. Because now, instead of 1 TNT, I can turn it into 3 TNTs, or 3 bombs, and hopefully blow this stuff up. Yeah, it works. And it looks like it gives a lot more. Oh, wow. Okay. Let's do this. Because now we don't need our obsidian anymore, right? Because it's just going to destroy it. So just line the interior of this with some energetic ore. I might have made our little wall too small, but we'll see. Oh, nope, don't go over there. Don't go over there. Yeah. So, yeah. That's cool. Tommy, I'm going to request that power shielding can't be damaged by this bomb. Because then you could just make a power shield, you could fill this thing up, you could throw a bomb in it, and then you're set. So, guys, this has been Raycraft. I hope you guys enjoyed the spotlight. Go onto the forums, Minecraft forums or on the Curse forums, and let Tommy 1019 know that you like his mod and you want him to keep building more and more and more. And if he has a donate link, I'm not sure if he does, but go ahead and send a few bucks his way so you can keep developing. This has been FunshineX, and hope you guys subscribe to my channel if you're not already. Leave me some comments in the description if you have any questions about the mod. And don't forget to hit that like button. It really helps a lot. I appreciate it. Thanks, guys. Bye.